Oh, hi. Today, we are talking about the JBL 305P Mark II. Technically, these are $130. No, seriously, that's what matters. They're $130. What do you get for $130? What a great question. What do you expect for $130? That's a much better question. Do you have a niche for these? Maybe. I do. The JBL 305P Mark II is not trying to represent the entire frequency spectrum available to us. What they're trying to do is leverage the best available technologies and R&D to give you something in the $130 per speaker range. $130. Yeah, they're super cheap. Not in formulation. As far as I can tell, not in build either. No, they are cheap in the store when you go to buy them. But what can be most realistically expected at this price point? Well, you gotta ask yourself, for really any purchase over $17, what am I expecting here? I mean, if they're fundamentally unreliable, what's the point in spending $130? What's the point in spending anything? What am I trying to accomplish? Where am I gonna be listening to these? Would they make good surrounds? What will they mostly be used for? I would postulate that all speakers need to be learned. You need to put them in your room, put a bunch of stuff through them, and learn them. By stuff, I mean things you've mixed and know intimately, and things other people have mixed that you have been listening to since childhood and understand on a fundamental level. On any speaker you go, I am hearing things I didn't hear before, but am I also not hearing things that shone on other speakers? The closest the mass market has come to a perfect speaker is the ATC. You don't really have to learn ATCs per se, they just intimidate you into not being garbage. All other speakers, though, you need to learn. You need to put them in your environment. You need to listen. You need to listen to stuff that you know. You need to listen to stuff that you expect to know. You need to listen to stuff that you mixed. You need to listen to something that somebody else mixed, but you've listened to a million times. And eventually, this is not a fast process. The point is that whatever is coming out of those sounds like what you had in your head. It takes a while to learn speakers. Okay, fine. It takes me a while to learn speakers. Seriously, it takes me like a month or two before I can be like, yup, mixing, great, everything's cool. So let me tell you exactly what these are good for. Ideas. Just barfing out ideas. Not getting all tripped and stumbly in the minutia. No, just barfing out ideas and going. They're not going to give you enough detail to get all clogged up and going, I want this bass sound, but you know, I need it a little more grindy on top, gritty on the bottom, not so much in the 305 range. Nah, these are just like, hey man, here's a bass sound. It's kind of conforming to what you had in your head. Go to work. Some of us hate the whole go to work. Sometimes it's really obnoxious. I don't want to be called out. But if you have a sudden flow, try these. That's really all I've ended up using them for, is I've got a bunch of synths running through them. And if I'm suddenly feeling an idea, I just flip to those. They let me get the idea out without getting in my own damn way. And for that, I thank them. They're just an alternate angle. The only lies they tell are lies of omission, because what they are telling you is pretty accurate. So they're not telling you low end. No, they're telling you low mid, reasonably. They're telling you mids, very reasonably. They're telling you mid-highs, very reasonably, and they're telling you high-highs. So good. That's what you've got from these. Could you use them as rears in a multi-channel setup? Hell yeah, you could. Go for it. Are they loud enough to scratch a bunch of itches? They absolutely are. Can you take them over 108 decibels? No. Can you run them consistently over 93 decibels? Nope. Are they loud enough to damage your hearing over time? Absolutely they are. You go ahead. You do you. Shine on, you crazy diamond. So that's really what I've taken away from these. They're not at all comprehensive. They're not supposed to be. I'm not going to finalize a mix on them. But they're certainly not lying about what they're telling you. And they tell you just enough to do some pretty great work. And for math, $260 a pair, you can't fail. Other potential uses for the JBL 305P Mark II? You know how you walk into a music store and there's all these beautiful keyboards and then there's speakers for those keyboards? These are made for that. There's something exciting about it. They make you want to play those keyboards. They make you kind of just want to get in there and fiddle with stuff and grab knobs and turn up sliders and just see what happens. Perfect for that. Is your kid getting real into GarageBand, but you don't want to actually piss off the neighbors? And as previously mentioned, great rears in a surround setup. Why not? You've got all the other frequencies theoretically covered with other speakers. So, what are you getting for $130? You are absolutely getting $130 worth of speaker. Maybe $135. Are there other speakers on the market that compare to these? Not that I'm aware of, so hella props to JBL for that one. Anyway, that's the JBL 305P Mark II. If you have one of the niches previously discussed, go ahead and pick up a pair. You're gonna love them. Lies of omission, not inaccuracy. Boop.